This is a terrible look for Jammes Harden. Why? Because he is airing out dirty laundry publicly. I think the way to do business is to always be discreet. If things don't work out behind closed doors, that's okay. That's fine. But you don't have to air out dirty laundry. Why? Because in my opinion, it makes Jammes Harden look really bad because of Jammes Harden's past. If we go back to look at how Jammes Harden left the Houston Rockets, how was it? It was very ugly, right? Jammes Harden showed up with a fat suit and he started to sabotage the team. He wasn't playing to his hardest. He wasn't scoring as many points as we knew he could, just because he wanted his way. So he forced his way out of Houston all the way to Brooklyn. Stayed with Brooklyn for 6 months, and how did he leave that situation? It was ugly. He forced another trade. He forced his way out, and he went to the Philadelphia 76ers. Now that he's with the 76ers, right, things aren't going his way, and he wants out. He wants to force his way out. Granted, I do agree, it was a pretty shady move on Daryl Morey's part to not grant Jammes Harden what he wanted, that it was going to be a signing trade. But it could have been that Daryl Morey really did try to make that trade with the Los Angeles Clippers and it just fell through. So we don't know the full story there, but from the way it's looking, it looks like Jammes Harden was slighted. So because of that, because of how Jammes Harden has done business in the past, forcing his way out of Philadelphia right now looks bad for him. Furthermore, coming out and publicly shaming and attacking a general manager doesn't look good for you. Because why? You remember, it's a monkey see, monkey do league. How do you think other general managers are looking at Jammes Harden treating Daryl Morey because their business dealings fell out? He doesn't look good. So general managers are like, okay, well, in the future, am I going to be willing to give Jammes Harden as much money? Am I going to be willing to even come to the table to discuss contracts with Jammes Harden? Because what if things between me and him don't go as well as he wanted it? Is he going to go out into public and call me a liar? It doesn't look good. And that's why I'm always a proponent of doing business behind closed doors. Keep it in the family. Keep it in the organization, right? You don't need to come out and publicly call him a liar and just drag his name through the mud. I understand he's frustrated. I understand Jammes Harden's frustrated, but it's not a good look. So now it's looking like Jammes Harden will remain with the 76ers for one more year, even though he doesn't want to be there. And that could turn it into a really bad situation. We've seen how Jammes Harden can sabotage a team when he really doesn't want to be there with the Houston Rockets. And we know now that he is very disgruntled. How is that going to play together? Is he going to sabotage the 76ers? Because Daryl Morey expects him to show up at training camp. He doesn't want to show up at training camp. He wasn't willing to show up at training camp because that's what he was holding out. That's what he thought he held over Daryl Morey's head, that he was going to get traded. But that's not the case. Daryl Morey's sticking with his gun and saying, listen, you signed a deal. Yeah, I lied, but you signed a deal and this is what's going to happen, right? And this is a great example of always get it in writing. If you're going to do a contract, always get it in writing. Yeah, words or whatever, they're not binding. Get it on paper that, hey, I'm gonna sign this contract and you're gonna deal me to the Clippers. But Jammes Harden didn't do that. It didn't work out for him, and we are at this point right now, impasse. It looks like the 76ers are once again imploding. Same thing happened with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons refused to come in and play for the 76ers. Jammes Harden refusing to come in and play for the 76ers unless he's traded, and it's looking really bad. He's calling out his general manager, and it's not a pretty look. But that's where we are right now. I think it looks bad for Jammes Harden, and hopefully these two men can get in a room together and hash this out like real men behind closed doors and come to an agreement. But that's where we are right now. It's not looking good for the 76ers right now, but those are just my thoughts on the Jammes Harden debacle. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching.